Welcome back, everybody, to this episode of The Check-In with Bryan and Jeremy. I'm Bryan.
I'm Jeremy.
And we are in sunny Brooklyn, New York this afternoon. It's gorgeous. We are at the Vacations Rooftop Bar.
Yes.
And we're getting ready to sit down with Andy and Annie Shaner, who just opened the bar earlier this year. And so far, what we've seen has been amazing.
Oh, it's incredible. I love the vibe. I love that they have like three different bars in one place. And each one is their own unique vacation.
Yeah, and the whole experience started outside. They have a lovely little patio thing with beach chairs.
I would totally have an amazing Saturday afternoon here.
Yeah, 100%. And this rooftop that we're on is gorgeous. So, so I have never really explored Brooklyn, have you?
I have, and I can tell you, exploring Brooklyn in the last 5 to 10 years compared to 20 plus years.
Okay, a little different?
Very different. Now it's like hip, there's so many food-y places and bars, and I came here recently and went to a arcade designed bar. Like, it was amazing. Wow. Like, literally every arcade game that you could think of
is in the bar.
So it's just very creative.
Awesome.
Brooklyn is definitely like
where it's at.
Yes.
Yeah. We may have to spend some more time here instead of Midtown.
Yes, it's definitely a different vibe, you know?
Yeah, seems a little bit more relaxed.
It's much more relaxed, and a lot of I feel like Gen Z, they love Brooklyn.
I'm Gen Z. I can be Gen Z. No.
When you're in Brooklyn.
Well, when in Brooklyn, I shall be Gen Z. Awesome. Well, what's in the news this week?
Well, I don't know if you heard in regards to the celebrity DJ Kygo is actually opening a hotel in Miami at North Bay Village Island. And it's a really cool, it currently is the Shuckers, which is an iconic, property.
Historic
and
hotel,
restaurant.
right?
Yes, it's like a Miami institution.
Yeah.
Yet the new rebirth of it, per se, with this Palm Tree Club is gonna be amazing.
Wow.
And it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Good Time Hotel, where there's kind of like a big celebrity like Pharrell that goes in and kind of creates a lifestyle hotel that's really unique. Well, this one is gonna be about 118 suites on a marina with 20 boat slips, full-on restaurant, and they're gonna offer all of the services. It's also gonna have like a festival energy, very much with a hospitality laid-back style. So it just seems like it's gonna be very unique.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Global Ambassador in Phoenix, in the sense of it being just a really unique lifestyle experience that the locals are gonna love, tourists are gonna love, celebrities are gonna love.
Everyone will be wanting to get in there.
I really feel like it's a trend.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see more
Well,
of
I
these type
mean,
of
considering
hotels.
Pharrell did the Good Time Hotel, and now with Kygo doing this one, I wonder who the next person is that wants to do who would you like to see do a partnership next?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would probably, I think these DJs are definitely where it's at.
Yeah.
So I would love to see Nina Flowers, who's a really famous, DJ that's also a drag queen. I think that would be amazing for the gay community to have a celebrity DJ that creates, a hotel and lifestyle experience. So I might hit you up, Nina. Yeah, and I love you, Nina. So I'm gonna hit her up and be like, girl, let's make it happen.
See, I think I would love a Celine Dion themed hotel where there's a sound experience in your room. So when you're waking up in the morning, you wake up to Celine Dion's voice.
I love that. And we had dinner recently at the Chez Josephine in New York, and it literally is a restaurant that's bringing her legacy to help it live on well beyond her years. And you kind of get to learn a little bit about her. It has her energy, has her vibes, has her favorite food menu items. So
has her
for
pictures
Celine,
up on the wall.
Yeah, she's alive and she's amazing.
Yeah.
Yet that restaurant and hotel concept will live on for generations.
For quite some time. Yeah.
So I love that. I'm totally backing that.
Yeah, no, I would love that. So, and I think she's going to do a residency, they're saying, at Resorts World again, so.
Well, she just killed it at the Olympics, so.
She did. That's the only part of the Olympics I watched. But, so as far as I'm concerned, she got a gold medal. So.
Seriously. Yeah. It's like an honorary, when you get to speak at a college or graduation, you get an honorary degree. She
gets an honorary gold medal. Medal. Awesome. Well, let's sit down with Andy and Annie and learn more about their bar
I'm
Vacations.
so excited. I want to hear their journey. I want to hear the inspiration behind it.
How they work together.
I also thought this was a
married.
smaller bar. I didn't realize. Like,
I was expecting it.
This is huge. This rooftop is just beautiful, and I was very, very impressed. And they have food.
And they have food, which I was not expecting that they had food. You know, I thought when we were getting here, obviously the way it was pitched to us originally, it was pitched to us in a light that it was definitely a place we wanted to come. But in my mind, just because it was in Brooklyn, I had a different.
It has a full-on kitchen. Like when I walked in, I thought it was, they had like a a big
like a toaster oven behind the bar.
Exactly. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, Turbo Chef. No, this is a legit full-on kitchen. So
and from the walk here, like there's clearly lots of stuff on this block alone that they share. So
this feels very lifestyle to me too, in the sense that like you can identify in the rooms that downstairs. I just felt like I could be in many different parts of the world. So 100%. I feel like they've already done it well, and I can't wait to hear how they did it.
Exactly. So awesome. Well, we'll be right back after this break with Andy and Annie.
This episode is brought to you by Reliance Hospitality, a global leader in hospitality consulting and services. Reliance Hospitality understands that your journey in the hospitality industry should be nothing short of unforgettable. With a comprehensive range of services tailored for every size and type of property, Reliance Hospitality is your go-to partner from the very first blueprint to your next big investment. Whether you're a budding hotel investor or looking to refine an established property, Reliance's cutting-edge management strategies ensure that every aspect of your venture is covered. So, if you're ready to elevate your hospitality business with unmatched expertise and innovative solutions, visit RelianceHospitality.com today. Let them take care of the details so you can focus on your next big deal.
Well, welcome back. We're joined by Andy and Annie Shaner at the Vacations Rooftop Bar in Brooklyn, New York. Mm-hmm. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good. So it's a lovely day here in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's summery.
Summery.
It's giving summer.
A little steamy.
Yeah, it's giving I need the shade, but I'm happy about it.
There's beautiful shade out here on your patio.
Yeah.
And a gorgeous bar.
Yeah,
oh my goodness. We were like, wow,
Yeah.
amazed. I love the vibe. It's
Thank you.
incredible.
Thank you so much.
So our producer Tyler's been telling us that this is like his nightly haunt now. So
it's pretty frequent. I'd say that. We can say whatever you want.
It's your most loyal customer.
Yes, he's up there.
Awesome.
He has a punch card, you know.
Well, if you guys want to start out, just give us a little bit of background about yourselves, like where you came from, what kind of led to the bar
Okay.
being opened.
Hit it.
I've been here I moved to New York 20 years ago. Started out bussing tables for my mom at a waitress in my hometown when I was 14. And then just kind of kept rolling in the business since then. Bartended for like 20 years.
Wow.
And here in New York, I bartended for 15, 16, something like that. And then Andy and I got the opportunity to open this place. So we've been doing it.
And when was that?
We started to work on it in 2022. Like at the very, very, very beginning of 2022, we started, because we had basically come up with an idea for Vacations, like in our mind.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's gonna be like cute, tiny little barn. It'll be like a beach shack. And then our friends who are now our business partners were like, what if it was this place? It's close to your house. And I was like, that's not the size I was thinking. But so then that's how it became Vacations.
Okay.
Because we're like, we can flesh it out, fill in a few more vibes in there.
Like we literally were picturing something like the size of this bar.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Like
A
literally.
legit little shack.
Yes,
Yeah.
So now it's a vacation world.
You had
tour
humble beginnings.
Yes,
Yeah.
mhm,
So
yeah.
what was here before?
So it went through a couple, the initial, the whole building, because it's like, you know what I mean, like the Keystone building of the block or whatever. I guess it was, because I used to know someone that lived across the street here. It was a window factory until fairly recent history, like until 2017, 18, I believe. And then the first thing that was in our space, I guess commercial, was a pasta restaurant called Gemelli. But I think that kind of coincided with a COVID fell to the wayside sort of thing. And then a couple people opened it up as another iteration of a bar, but I think they might have gotten hit pretty hard with round 2 of COVID.
Yeah.
So then it kind of lived in the ether for a while, and then we were like, we'll take it, I guess, with our friends, yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of offered to us before it was put on the market.
Okay.
It was like friends of friends knew that it was available, and then they approached us. well, they approached our business partners, and then our business partners approached us. So
Yeah.
we lived in the neighborhood, and we hadn't had anything of our own yet at this point, and
Because we've both been bartending for like a really long time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I am very boring. Like, I came to New York to act, like, or whatever. And all I did was act behind the bar, but I was cool with it.
Yeah.
But basically, I was like, we can just open our own bar. And that's just like, it happened to coincide with the same timeline of that, like, this happening.
Yeah.
Which is how she turned into XXL. That's how that happened,
Yeah.
Wow. So what was the experience like getting this place open then?
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. It was, we initially did this bar first because it was, when everything was like signed and said and done, it was like mid-spring. So we were like, if we can get it done, obviously it makes sense to have the most space done, the XYZ. So this one, we like were here and we were still bartending actively like at other places because we weren't sitting that pretty. So like we would work or we would come here and like work all day, like doing like menu stuff, doing bar stuff, doing decor stuff, like building stuff, and then we go bartend all night. Okay. And that we would did that like that for like probably like 3.5 months to finish that inside bar and get out here semi-ready. And then we ended up having to reclose because of like some permitting issues, like that because we were trying to build out the space and add it on, and then there were just like some red tape things we had to get through. So like all in all, then it ended up being like different sections were done at once. So it was kind of like a weird journey. And when everything was done, the bar downstairs, the Lunker Lounge, because that's like a lakeside, upstate New York vacation bar. That was the one that ended up opening first because it was February. Yeah. So we ended up welcoming everyone into a winter vacation first, but it was a nice kind of prelude to both the summer vibes in the Parakeet Club and the Rosé Room. Yeah. So it was nice to kind of see it because we like had only thought about it really in a summer way because we'd only been working like in the colder months. So it was nice to see it like as like cozy cabin vacation can like roll too. Yeah.
So it's vacations overall, and then each of the bars are different vacation destinations.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
And then there's 3 different vacation destinations. One
so the whole place is vacations. Everything is vacations. Different drink menus to fit the different vibes in all the bars. So downstairs, which is like the main entry, every day of the year bar, the Lunker Lounge, that's inspired by upstate New York a lot, and I'm from upstate New York, and a lot of just like general lakeside vacations. Like it's woody, like there's fish mounted on the wall, like the drinks are good, but like you're gonna get them fast, and you can picture like an old crotchety local lady handing them to you as well. It's like
which is a
nice, or is it? You never know.
Annie's mom is from Saranac Lake, and that's where we quarantined, and that's where we got engaged.
That's where we got engaged. That's where my family's from in the Adirondacks. Whatever.
So it just like means a lot to us. So we just kind of like we use that as inspiration for the downstairs bar. The
like there's a
Lounge.
bar we love there called the Rusty Nail. And like that's like a bar that has not changed in any way, debatably, even the employees.
Seems like a
the
very
70s.
Predictable New England bar name.
It's definitely a classic. Or we buy a body of water.
Yeah.
Insert this selection of 10 names, probably.
Carpeting on the floor. It's
and
the
like
best
you're happy
bar
about
ever.
it. You're like, we're here for it.
Yeah.
Just like lay new carpeting. Don't even pull it up ever.
You'll meet
like,
people that live off the grid in this bar. It's pretty amazing.
They have a men's night. $1 off for men. I was like, bold choice.
Done.
Here for it. Let's go.
Progressive.
But that's what downstairs like inspired. Like it's like very specifically lakeside because that's like something important to us or whatever. And also one of our business partners is from Michigan. Like used to be at the lake all the time. So there's like certain other elements of other areas, but that's like so that's why I was like it's definitely given lakeside.
Yeah.
But I was like you can insert like you want to be upstate. You want to be in Michigan, you can be wherever you want to be, really. And
it also has like a little like Florida to it because it's like the fish that are hanging from the wall are like mainly fish that you would catch in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, so like there's a little bit of that aspect too.
It can be wherever you want it to be.
I was going to say, I even almost feel Colorado.
Yeah, like you can make it whatever you want to be as long as you get the essence. I feel like if you don't get it, you're gonna be like, what? Yeah. But if you get it, you're like, lovely. It reminds me of
You're
this.
welcome.
Yeah, and I had the joy of using the facilities when I arrived, and I was able to check out your postcard collection.
Thank you. Yes,
Which did seem very
that.
Florida.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
It's very Florida.
There's definitely an underlying Floridian pulse that kind of happened randomly.
Yeah.
Because neither one of you are from, nor did you live in Florida.
I lived in Florida for a year.
Oh, you did live in
Surprise.
Florida.
You didn't
and,
visit.
and she knew that.
Okay.
I forgot that.
I actually was a lifeguard.
At Disney.
At Disney.
Oh.
Yeah.
Former cast member.
Yeah, I was
Wow.
a former cast member. Yeah. Yeah, it's not one of my proudest
You got
moments.
out.
I was only there for a year. I was like, I got to get out of here. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Didn't love. I didn't love Orlando. There we like Miami, and that's kind of like where the inspiration for that,
Upstairs.
like the green bar, like because we fell in love with Little Havana,
Okay.
and that's kind of like
Well, because like downstairs upstate, and that's like easy. Like I'm from there. We were all lakeside. We all had our own thing. This one was like the concept that was supposed to be the Parakeet Club, the main green bar that we're in right now. That was supposed to be, that was like the idea for vacations when it was supposed to be mini teensy weensy in our mind.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be like a little bit Little Havana and a little bit just like tropical.
Yeah.
Like I mean like general Caribbean Keys, Little Havana, like insert where you will. And Little Havana really just got brought in because we inherited like the beautiful emerald tiles in there, and we were like, well, if it ain't
Why-
broke,
yeah.
if it's
There's no
lovely,
reason
like
to-
we can.
yeah. I think our
make
partner
this
Teresa was
happen.
like, I think this is what the vibe should kind of go around, you know, because of those.
Yeah,
green
and then our
tiles.
third bar, the Rosé Room, that one is, and that one wasn't necessarily personally inspired by any of us, but we were kind of like, what's another vacation? What does the neighborhood need? That one's kind of Birdcage Miami, like a little bit retro, like a little bit throwback, like a little bit boys club, like has its own, but all of them have their own specific vibe and like specific menu and like destination, even if it's different for every person sitting at the bar. Because it's meant to be a vacation to wherever you want to go, whenever you can, when you can't leave the city.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And do you plan on like rotating the theme at all? Like seasonality, or just adding a little bit, like around Christmas, added some decor?
I don't think we're gonna rotate the theme. We probably have some stuff coming in the winter that's like a ellipses. Like we can't quite pinpoint exactly, but we have
Okay.
some like moving and shaking that's gonna happen,
I always
or
think
some
of-
doubling down.
I always think of the Christmas Corona commercials when I'm thinking about like what we could do up here for the wintertime, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with them.
I'm
but-
not.
Oh, okay.
I said that very confidently, but I'm
He was
not.
like, you
They're
get
great
it, you're
commercials.
hired.
They're really good Corona commercials that they always have during Christmas, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like Christmas in somewhere in the
a beach in Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
I
yep.
think I have seen one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, it's bringing something back from the recesses.
On that note, do you feel like some of your travel and like hospitality experiences have helped influence the design, or you've kind of impacted the experience
Definitely.
here?
Yeah, 100. I mean, design-wise, like decor-wise, for me, like, so our business partner Teresa and I like did most of the designing together, and I'm very like, I need it to look like this place, it needs to feel like this, it needs to be cozy. Like I give big words, and she's like, great, so we'll buy wood and put that on the wall. Like she like knows, like can translate like the bubbles into like a finite like decision. And like there is stuff like we have from like our vacations, or like friends have brought us from vacation physically in the bar.
Okay.
And some of the postcards like are our postcards. Like we did get a lot of them from antiquing and from like estate sales and stuff, but there are some pockets and little nabs in there that like are things that we treasure from vacations, or we collect souvenir shot glasses.
Okay.
So there's sprinklings of them around if you can find
Yeah.
them, but I do keep them high enough to keep the slippery fingers of thievery away,
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
mean something to me.
Have you had any customers try to add postcards to your walls?
No. Well,
We've had people send them from.
yes,
from-
we have people
from
send
vacation.
in postcards unsolicited. It's like, you know what I mean? It's not like a promotion or
Right.
anything. And I get tickled
Yeah,
when
it's
they
such
send them.
such a
Like,
cool surprise, you know.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, we had a couple road trip, and they had like they weren't regulars or anything either. They were like, and they're like, oh, this is great. I wish we weren't leaving for 2 months. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I was like, well, enjoy your trip. I was
Yeah.
like, have a good vacation. And they asked for the address and they didn't even say anything. I thought they were just like putting in an Uber for all I knew.
Yeah.
And then we started getting from them and their dog on their RV road trip. We would get one from every
That's awesome.
destination
love
for like
that.
weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
I would get them in our Dropbox. And I was
Yeah.
like, a few other people, my friend Jacob, his aunt's cat Smila in Sweden sends us postcards. That's a little niche, but yep, we do
There
get-
might be a market for
Yes,
it.
I
Yeah.
was like, but we have them, Smila, and we will keep them
Yeah.
if we do that.
That is so funny. So what's your experience been so far than owning a bar in a smaller neighborhood?
We've gotten a lot of good feedback from the people that either grew up around here or are transplants, you know, but not from far away, you know, like maybe even like people that lived in other boroughs or other neighborhoods. The people that live here now, we do have we've gotten a lot of good feedback from even people like Tyler, you know, just like he's a good example, you know.
Toughest critic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours too.
Yeah, I know. God, we'll talk about it after.
But it's been really cool to meet people that grew up in this neighborhood and have seen it completely transition and have them enjoy the space.
And be a part of it instead of feeling pushed out.
Yeah.
Because like Bushwick, obviously, and Ridgewood, we're like kind of right on the border, has that. But some people are obviously, especially if you're new to the neighborhood, like rock on, like more things. And other people are like, this is insanity, like what's happening. And for us, it was important. I mean, granted, we also bartended for like a bajillion years. I bartended at Abe's in Bushwick for a long time. We live in the neighborhood. Because when we were open like a rooftop, there's a lot of connotations. Like, it's gonna be too expensive. It's gonna be douchey, for lack of a better term, for that or whatever. It was really important to us to keep it a neighborhood bar, like not make it, obviously it's a business, we have to make money, but make it affordable for people in the neighborhood of all walks of life, like old timers, new people, like young people.
You weren't bringing Midtown.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like that's what, like I was like, we want it to be,
Right.
like by all means, everyone is welcome, but we wanted to try and bridge the gap from like neighborhood bar to industry bar to rooftop and have it be a place for everybody.
Like never a cover. You're never gonna spend $30 on a cocktail.
Yeah.
Like we're like.
But it'll still be good.
Yeah.
And it'll still be like, you have the skyline, like.
You can still get a beer and a shot for less than $10. You know, like it's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I know that the locals appreciate that tremendously, even people who are visiting in.
Yeah.
Did you guys always kind of know you wanted to own a bar, or when did you kind of even get that inspiration?
For me, yes. It took Annie some
I
coming
did not,
around.
but I was like, and I was a long time bartender. I was a bit in denial. I was like, never mind. I'm a bar person. Like in my mind, I don't know what I thought was happening. I was like, maybe I'm just good at it. But I was like, if I'm going to open a bar, it's going to be because we're married. I was like, it's going to be like a family business, which it is. And like, we've all known most of our business partners for like many, 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 many years. But I was like, we're both very persnickety behind the bar in how we work. Like, because we're used to high volume, like we're used to cocktailing, we're used to different things. So I was like, I can't do it. I just know that we're exactly on the same page in that work way, even though sometimes it's hard if you're married. It's hard if you're married.
I was gonna
For
say,
sure.
how's that
Yeah.
been, like
For sure.
working together this close?
It's definitely a learning
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are some times where like you can feel your eye twitching.
Yeah.
You're like, must
There's peaks and
walk
valleys.
away.
The
Like,
curve
gotta
hasn't
go.
stopped.
Yeah. But also I'm like, if something happens with staff, like a random thing, an emergency, in a meeting, whatever, like I know that we are on the same page.
Yeah.
And we have each other's back. In the moment, it can get a little spicy, obviously, because you're just like, another minute of analyzing this.
Have you been
Yeah.
able to like kind of leave work at work and?
Oh, for sure. We've learned to now.
Yeah.
Like it was really hard at the beginning because we were here
We
12
would
hours a
work,
day,
like,
7 days a week.
six
And then going to other jobs.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Well, that's what we're building
since we
out.
opened this, it was a lot. Like we didn't really have a life outside of here for the first few months.
We just recently started taking 2 days off, like recently, within like the last few weeks.
Okay.
Which we've only been successful at, I think, every other of the last 3
Yeah.
weeks.
Still,
So we're baby stepping
for
into
being a new
like,
business,
yeah.
that's still
That's
huge.
balance.
like when we're out at a restaurant, I'm like, wow, look at us. You know,
I do
like,
remember that. The first time it happened, we also did have an edible, so we were like really enjoying our time. But Andy was just like, no one called us. And we were like, either it's burned down or everything's fine.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are the two
Those are your
options
two
in
options.
front of us.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. So how's it been getting staff then? Have you had any challenges?
So like we've been saying, I've been here working at places, making a lot of friends, and most of those people our better friends are people that do this,
Yeah.
that are in the industry, and pretty much the same with Annie. I don't want to speak for you, but
We were very lucky. Most of the staff are either people I worked with before or that asked to work with me that I know from this. So staffing has been, knock on wood, pretty seamless for the most part. Obviously, there's some hiccups in there, and like sometimes you have to, like some people have to go, but it's been pretty small, which is nice. And we do keep it pretty tight because like everything is bar service because like that's how a lot of us worked. Like I want people to be busy and like feel like they're crushing it and then make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, to me, I was like, that's the key for happiness, even like the hairiest of moments, because you're like, nailed it. And then you're like, make it rain.
Well, it's a sign of a good bartender too, if they can manage the craziness and then be like content at the end of the night.
Yeah. And our bar backs are all incredible. Like we have it's the same thing from like beginning, like all our staffing, like all of them are bar people we knew. Even our people in the kitchen are like, one of our other partners knew them from another bar he worked at back in the day. So all of them are people that were already in our
Sphere.
like, already in our galaxy, kind of.
we're extremely lucky to have the people that are working here to be working here. It's like it's
And
been,
the support.
Yeah.
They're very supportive.
Yeah.
Because like if one thing goes wrong when 3 bars are open, like the understanding of like, excellent, I shall make the choice right now about what to do. I don't need you. Is like even like small things like that and like being able to trust them and they understand is really important because you never know, like that's the game of hospitality. Like Murphy's Law. What shall go wrong here? But in some
no matter what
means,
you've prepared for.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, I'll be right back. We have to climb on the roof and reconnect like an electric socket. And you're like, I don't know how to do that. Like, you'll be lucky if you ever see me again. Like,
YouTube.
How do you create that culture? Why do you feel like is there something that you guys do to kind of create that team environment?
I can't put a finger on it. I just feel very lucky, you know, to have the staff that we have. It just like I can't like.
And we've been in bad work situations as many people have. So I mean, we do try and avoid anything on our end that we can. Obviously, we do our best, but yeah, our staff is the best. We love them all. Like, and all of them are amazing bartenders, technically wise as well. But like, we're very like personality over. Like, if it were to be one over the other, and like all the personalities are like 12 out of 10. Like, we're very family oriented. Like, we just had our staff trip on Monday, like our staff party, and it didn't even feel like a forced staff party, which was just like, you know, you were like, hey.
Yeah, we had a blast. Yeah,
we all went like fishing out in Sheepshead Bay. Like we did like a charter boat like all day, and then we went to Roll and Roaster, which is like very silly. Went to Happy Hour at Applebee's.
Hey,
That
they
is
have good
incredible.
wings at Applebee's.
Okay, also
They
their
have really good Long
sangria
Island
was
iced
like
teas.
not bad. I was like, sorry, did you import someone from Europe?
You're like, guys, this is a big compliment. If it's coming from us, it's a huge
The place that we
compliment.
went after our fishing trip is called Roll and Roaster, and it's basically just like a roast beef place, but it looks
But
like
it's like an
almost
independently
like a McDonald's.
owned fast food place from like deep South Brooklyn. It's been open for like 60 years or something.
Yeah, and you can
It's
get
really bizarre.
you can get like bottles of Veuve Clicquot. Is that what the champagne was?
No, it's Moet.
I mean, you
Moet,
get champagne
Moet, yeah.
at the.
Yeah, you're
At
just,
this
you
ro-
know,
at this
getting
roast beef
some
place,
cheese
yeah.
fries, roast beef, some Moet.
Yeah.
Just
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 recommend.
Yeah.
Back up and go. Worth the trip.
I mean, it's probably been the secret to their long-term success.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Do most of your staff then live around in the local area too, or?
A decent
Brooklyn.
amount does, but not all of them.
Not all of
Definitely not across the board. Or a few of them I know from working in the area. So they're kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because they're like sort of like staples of the neighborhood behind the bar, but maybe don't actually.
So they have a little bit
live
invested.
here.
They know you. They want to do a good job. They want the bar to succeed.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Everybody's kind of everybody's eyes are kind of on the same.
Yeah.
goal. How have business levels been since you opened?
It's good.
I mean, I know
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Tyler has
He
probably
helps.
been
He's-
keeping.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Tyler
he's
wasn't
been
here,
lining
doors
our
are
pockets
closed.
since we
Doors are closed.
I know what we pay him, so he should at least be able to be here a few times
Okay.
a week. So.
Please email it to us. We want to make sure he's doing this, okay? Obviously, in the winter, it's a bit slower. We're hoping to do like a lot in the winter to make it more fleshed out down there, like
Yeah.
do winter carnival and stuff, which we might do up here. I was like, summer's pretty crazy. it's pretty bumping.
Yeah,
like the
it's been good.
weekends, body, people like shaking their asses, which we're here for, drinking a frozen, like it's like a good vibe. Like it's high energy, but without being crazy.
Yeah.
And because it's big enough and because there are 3 rooms, you can like really, it's nice to see people for like hours. You're like, I thought like, dude closed out. Like,
Well, that's the thing.
Oh,
It's,
he's been in
with
the other bar,
multiple
like-
areas to go, I think people, you can and you serve food too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
they can
amazing.
come and like, why leave? They can just
Yeah.
keep going from room to room
Yeah.
every couple hours.
Yeah, that's the goal.
It's like
Yeah.
bar hopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, within the same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay for an Uber.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Why?
Yeah.
Why do it?
Right, just
In this
come here.
economy, I don't think so.
Are you all involved like in any local events, or do you partner with any local businesses or hotels?
We don't partner with any hotels. Well, there's also not. Hotels are starting to kind of crop up around here, but it's still like a bit sparse in general in this exact
Yeah.
neck of the woods.
Yeah, it's more like a neighborhood.
But we work with other businesses a lot, like KCBC breweries up here, and like we pour them and we're good friends with them. But like they'll come, like they did like an event downstairs. You know what I mean? Where like you went like fishing in kiddie pools with like magnetic fish for like
Oh, that's cool.
KCBC
Oh, that's so
passes
cool.
and merch and stuff like that. Like tomorrow we're doing Session Gym is doing their like big happy hour and like a class over on the Rosé Room. My friend Allie does Pilates over there.
Our friends from Box Street do boxing classes
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Which is kind of weird that it's like fitness oriented like that.
That's like not that, I know.
It's actually
pretty
not as common
fit
as you
for
think
this.
because
That's
like I've noticed lately people have been figuring out because you make all your money typically in the evening, right?
Yeah.
So that's when
Yeah.
that's when the income's coming in. People have figured out, oh well, if we like who's gonna be up first thing in the morning and who can we get a little bit of money
yeah,
from
like
off the
who's gonna be
space?
motivated
Like,
to get in earlier? Yeah,
it's the fitness people. I
Yeah.
personally will not be here at 5 a.m.
Yes,
to do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
Have you done a wedding reception yet, or like a buyout or
We've
event?
done
We've done
wedding
after.
parties.
Yeah.
We have not done a full reception. We have done buyouts of individual bars for different birthday parties, whatever. We actually have a buyout of the whole roof coming up on Saturday for a
Okay.
bit.
Oh, that's
For I believe
awesome.
it's a 40th birthday, and they're going.
We do have an
Always big.
after wedding party on Tuesday night, and the person that sent us that wedding party is having their birthday party here the day before.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Well,
and
that's
many
good.
of these people are bartenders.
Yeah.
So I will say
Yeah.
the interconnected.
Knowing people is important.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
important. Yeah.
So
And that's another thing. Like I feel like happy, and it just creates such a like cool vibe. Is that there are a lot of bartenders and like industry people that come in here, and it just for lack of a better term, it raises the bar up a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
like
It gives a little pressure,
that-
right?
Yeah.
Like, good pressure.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun there, but
yeah. Well, I was gonna say because if they have a bad experience, they kind of know where to go, right?
Oh.
Like, instead.
And we're very we're very anti mean cool bartender. Like I've never subscribed to that when people are like, "What do you want?" and like look at you like they're gonna hit you. Like that's
Yeah.
bizarre to me. Like I'm always like, I will try the path of least resistance. Obviously, sometimes bartending is really hard. And people are hard in general in the world, especially.
You're
After they've
managing
had some
human
drinks?
behavior.
Yes, yeah, especially in that.
Yeah.
So sometimes there is nothing you can do, and some people are truly the problem
Yeah.
in those moments. But I will always go nice over not, or I'll like go joke over like what, like. So I think that's nice too, is because like we want everyone, like we are bartenders, like we care about the staff, and like if someone says something or
Yeah.
does something, of course, I'm like, send me over. I get unhinged. Like I keep it in for these moments.
Yeah.
I was like, but everyone is really nice. Like it's not a place where you have to go in and be like, even if you are a bartender or aren't a bartender, you're just like, well, they're cool anyways. Like even if the person I know isn't there, like I'll still hang out with whoever's working.
Yeah. They'll make a
Like,
new friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is nice. A lot of people will be like, I'm only going there
On the
if this person is there because
Yeah.
I am terrified of everyone else that
Yeah.
works there or something. Yeah.
that's too funny.
So what do you think is the most like difficult part of owning and running this bar? Like what do you think is the most challenge? How do you overcome it too?
I mean, there's just so many curveballs that get thrown at you on a daily basis. That's for me. That's what it is. It's just like rarely is there a day where there isn't at least one 911. Like where it's like, All right.
On a sliding scale.
Yeah.
On a sliding scale,
Yeah.
I'll say that, not like an actual, like,
Yeah.
the building.
Well, that does happen too. There's a fire alarm goes off an obscene amount. It's like since we've been open, I think it's happened 3 times. We just like, and it's just I don't.
3 times for a new business is actually pretty good with fire
Well,
alarm.
it's not even ours. It's just because we share the building with so many
with
other
people.
businesses.
Oh, okay.
There's 3 other restaurants in here, right? Yeah. There's
us.
Zaya, which is a ramen
King's Kalachi,
place.
yeah.
King's Kalachi. There's 4 then.
Yeah.
Empanada City, and
How is Empanada City?
delicious.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're gonna hit.
Yeah.
Empanada
Yes,
City.
please. We
Then there's
need
also
to.
a delicious Thai restaurant at the end of the building here called Tong.
Ooh,
The
yes,
ramen
it's
place
delicious.
downstairs.
Yeah.
All actually.
All of them are good.
Yeah, they're
but
all
yeah,
really,
so it's
really,
like
really
you go on
good.
Well, the good news
food
is you at
tour
least have
around
good
the block,
neighbors.
Yeah.
Like you have good restaurants then around you too.
Like the place Tong down the street has an oyster dish that I think about almost on a daily basis. It's kind of crazy.
He's not kidding.
No.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'll
You're
stay
like,
out
no,
of
it's
this one.
That's too funny.
Do you feel like your food game is just as strong as your liquor game?
I mean,
Yes.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, like it's kind of like I don't know. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like
'Cause that must be
like we take
difficult.
pride in the fish and chips. Like the fish and chips are really good. Yeah,
The food's
yeah.
really good. I feel
Yeah.
like he has a lot to do with the food, and he's like not. I'm like
being
the other one
humble.
where I'm like, I can do everything. It's fine. He's like, I don't want to say it's good because he did a lot of it. His brother, who is a chef, like had like a few stars like in the Times when he lived here. He actually lives in Florida.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, that's our closest Floridian probably. But like he came up, and we wanted to keep it bar food because like to me, nothing's better than good bar food. Like if you're like a little tipsy and you get bar food that's like good, you're like, oh my God, my whole trajectory has changed. I'm feeling incredible now. But he came up and helped him. Like we put some things out there we definitely wanted on it, and he helped make them
Come to life.
elevated for like a bar menu. And we do have like legit fish and chips, which we go to Ireland like every 2 years with my family because I'm Irish, and it was pretty important that we make them good.
Yeah.
And also you can't really get them around here. So that's why,
You can't?
not
No,
really.
our friend actually brought it to our attention who owns a restaurant called Gordo's a couple blocks away. And he's like, you guys know what you need to do. He's like, you need to put fish and chips on the menu. I was like,
And he was
that's
like,
a
we
great
thought
idea.
about it. He was
Yeah.
like, no, but he was like, maybe.
And I'm very glad we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's your top seller?
Our burger
Burger.
is definitely our
Burger
top
and
seller.
wings,
yeah.
Yeah, the burger
And the wings, yeah.
Yeah, people love the wings here.
That traces because when we like for the restaurants that we've managed in the hotels, it's no matter what you put out there,
yeah,
it's
those
always
are
the burger
always
and the
gonna be-
wings
yeah.
always shared the top.
Yeah.
And if you
top 2
don't have
spots.
it on the menu, people are
Oh,
like,
and it like
I know, they're-
yeah.
this is not a bar menu.
Yeah,
I know.
you'll get a chef that's like, oh, people don't want that, so they'll take like the wings off the menu or something.
Yeah.
Listen,
And it's
we
like,
understand.
We actually
we didn't
opened
have
without-
French. We opened without French fries.
Oh,
Yeah.
We had fingerlings. We were hoodwinked. No, I'm kidding.
And then we also didn't open
Although I
with
do love
wings
a
either.
finger.
I know.
Potato.
Listen, I'll take a
Yeah,
potato in
they
any
were
form,
delicious.
so I
They
was
were like
Yeah.
they were like Spanish style. They were like
they were delicious, but you
patatas
can't
bravas.
fight the fry.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is
Yeah.
that you can't fight it. So
Well, I guess if
now-
I ordered wings, so it's like you said you went to Applebee's. Like I grew up with an Applebee's, going to Applebee's all the time.
Right.
Still to this day, I think they have the best wing sauce and French fry combo.
Wow, really? Okay.
I'm not really.
I
love that
actually
you're
can,
such a
I
solid
can
fan.
second that though. I did every Saturday too. I
Yeah.
love me a good.
So
did you
it was the
have
only
your
place that was
Applebee's?
open after
Applebee's.
midnight in our
Yeah.
town. So
You can't fight the franchises.
No.
You can't. Like
No.
they're franchising for a reason. you know?
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they keep getting better. Like they get feedback, and they're only there to make it better. So
Yeah.
it's like you better.
Yeah.
yeah. So in this process, so obviously you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this thing
Yeah.
from the beginning. But you said you've been able to take a little, like some days off here and there since in the recent weeks. Has there been something that has happened or an experience since you opened and fully opened in May that has happened that has given you like contentment that we've done the right thing?
Last weekend, last Sunday, so I'm from Delaware originally. I don't know if we've spoken about that or not, but back home, like a tradition during the summer is sitting down with family and friends and picking crabs and drinking beer. Like that's what you do, you know? And I had my uncle bring up 5 bushels of crabs, which is like 350 crabs, something like that. And we had like 40 people sit on the other side, on the pink side, My uncle walked around, taught all the people that didn't know how to pick crabs
And
how
his
to pick
uncle's
crabs.
a character.
Yeah.
Like he came with 2 hats on. He had like a baseball hat on and then a sun hat over it.
that's
Yeah.
so
And
funny.
he would just like take one off.
So
And
he's
I'd be
entertainment at the
"What's
same
that?"
time.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's a water.
I'm like, he's part of the show.
Yeah,
People,
yeah.
okay, not just a tutorial.
And he's also like a waterman himself. Like he goes crabbing, he fishes. He's got a boat called whose name is Balls Deep.
Get it, Uncle Gene.
That's what he like. He's just like a big fun-loving guy, you know. And he's like not just big in character, like he's big in stature as well. So like,
Wow.
Yeah. So you listen to his jokes, you know what I mean? And he tells a lot of them.
But that was like a thing he had always wanted to do every summer, like do an annual thing. And it was like very fun. It was packed. Like we had a different event going on over on this side. Like to me, I just feel, when I feel successful is like when I am behind the bar and like I look out the window and it's just like packed with people like dancing and smiling. Like anytime I see that, like even if I'm doing 150 other things and like that moment of like looking and seeing it's packed and people are like, this is delicious. Like you can like just feel the fun that you helped to create.
Yeah.
And then like somebody walks in, like your producer, and I'm like, hey Tyler, hello, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, like seeing
that vibe
people like Tyler
is,
come
like,
in, you know, like a
that
few
gives me
times
a moment of
week.
respite.
Yeah.
Because it is what we wanted. Like it's a packed bar, it's busy, people are dancing, they're taking pictures in the skyline, but then it's like, you're like, you know what I mean, like dapping up like all your regulars still at the same time, who are also just as happy to see it busy and not like, oh God, well now it's, you know what I mean? I'm not coming here anymore.
Yeah.
Like that to me, like those moments, like that makes me feel successful and like a moment to breathe. Because I'm like, that is what I want to see for
It gives you that
everyone.
confidence that, you know, you own it. So
Yeah.
it's, look what I did.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't do it for anybody else.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if there is another couple out there or person that just wants to one day own a bar, what advice do you have for them?
Be nice to each other.
That's good advice. Yeah, that's good advice. I also, I feel like you're gonna be shocked that I say this. You can't think that you can do it all because you will, even if you think you're doing it to help other people in the business, you can't do it all. Like, you need to like take advantage of what other people are able to do. Like, you know what I mean? So your strengths could actually just like ride into the sunset and like get there. Because I think that's like the hardest part, especially if you're the owner, because you're like,
letting go a little
really, no
bit.
problem. I got it. Like, I just can't do this. Like, I don't have a second. Like,
letting go, like letting your grip loosen a little bit and like just trust the people that you have here. And that's why they're here. You know, like they're here for a reason. Let them do their thing.
They're not always going to do it the way you want them to do it, but as long as the outcome is consistent.
100%. Yeah.
That's such
Which has
good
to be
advice.
difficult, being that you were essentially in their shoes before this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I can imagine too, like, isn't it a little difficult of like the balance? Because it seems like you guys are very hands-on and that's amazing, but is it like this, like, is this like a ballet or a dance with your bartenders
There
of like when you
definitely
get involved?
Are moments. And I know it's hard sometimes for me because I can see, like, if there's an issue and I can see exactly what it is, I'll be like, and if let's say it's busy, I'm like, I'm gonna fix this right now. It's just gonna see, I might have to get in here and I'm gonna be very direct and very quick, and then I'm gonna explain what happened, and then it's all back to you.
Yeah.
Where I think that's just more, because like I'm not a very good, like I was never good at training people when I was like bartending, because I'd just be like,
I mean, it's one of the most
I'd
dreaded
be
things
like-
you have to do.
I'd be like, you know, it's like, and then it's like they wouldn't do something. I'd be like, okay, but not like that. And they'd be like, what? And I was like, so to me, that is sometimes hard because I'm like, I am not like, I was like, I just see what the problem is. I was like, so I'll just like get in and fix it, and then I'll address it after. Like, even if it's not from a person, like it's like a technical issue, like happened with something functioning, I'll be like, just keep going. It's fixed. At the end of the night, I'll explain what happened so it doesn't.
From one control freak to
happen.
another, if you just take the time to show them, you'll sleep sounder later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then have someone write a job aid while you're doing it.
Yeah.
While you're showing them.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
So what's next for you two? Like, is this where the road ends? You've got the bar open, or are you looking to franchise this baby?
I mean,
I mean, there's been like
murmurs.
conversations.
Yeah.
Or there's been like conversations of like what babies of vacations could look like.
Yeah.
We do have like another like sub dream, like we'd like to open a hotel in Coney Island.
We'll
We
give
can
you our
help with
card.
that.
So
Yeah.
I was like, but it would be vacation. Well, it would be like in the vacation format, but different.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what we, down the line when all of this is recouped and whatnot, if we were going to do another thing, that would probably be, obviously you never know. Like sometimes things just magically carry in and fall on your lap.
You never
You're
know what's
like,
going to happen.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
There is, we also are all pretty into our dogs, so we're not scared of a dog bar. We're not scared of opening a dog bar with our current business partners.
Hey, I think it's a good idea. We spend a lot of time over in Europe, and I spend a lot of time in England, and it's kind of nice when you're, it's mostly outside of London, but like when you're at the like local pubs and stuff, like the dogs are just like, there's this pub it's an Indian restaurant that is also a pub. It's a very strange combination. There's like some long story about it, but everybody walks in there, they've got their dogs with them.
Yeah.
You're eating Indian food with
Wow.
these dogs on the floor.
Yeah.
That's in London or outside of London?
It's outside of London.
And you're just at peace with it though. You're like,
We have peace with it, and everybody's just very calm because I think the dogs just make the whole atmosphere just.
yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So I would say dogs in England specifically are a little better trained,
Well, I believe
than some
that. Yeah,
here.
there's some.
but yeah. But I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're in.
Are dogs allowed here?
Dogs are allowed out. Obviously, there's some things because like there's health department,
Yeah.
XYZ things. Outside, they're allowed everywhere. I
Yeah.
think be on both the rooftops, the deck downstairs. Totally welcome. Obviously, it's a service dog, whatnot, wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wherever you're going, shall your companion go? But yeah, everywhere outside, dogs are welcome as long as they're on a leash.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what kind of training you people are doing.
Yeah, that is
yeah,
true. That
yeah.
is- no, you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if they're on a leash or
It's a
in the
liability if they're not.
old bag size,
And
going
I've seen
in.
all of the ones I have seen have been on a leash.
Yeah.
In those places.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen, so.
And like we'll
Yeah.
take our dogs, obviously they're dog friendly or whatever, and we
Yeah.
have 2 pit bulls. We always have them on the leash. We're not
Yeah.
like, they're great, bye. Just in general, I'm like, they could be great.
Like I have
but I'm, like,
beagles
so
at home,
weird.
and you have to keep them on a leash because if you let them go,
They're flying.
they're gonna fly
Yeah,
away.
yeah,
Like their nose will catch something and they're
Yeah.
gone. So
Right, yeah.
yeah, no matter, they love you to death, but no, that
Yeah.
food smell or whatever
Yeah.
that smell is more important to them. So awesome. Well, Andy and Annie, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us
Guys.
today.
Thank
we wish you the
you.
best of luck.
Thanks
you so much.
And,
Anyone coming to Brooklyn,
Yes.
Bushwick area have got to
you.
come to vacation. It's
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank
Where
you.
can our viewers find online to
We're on Instagram. It's Vacations BK. And then you got all the links to everything else, the website,
we will
phone numbers.
definitely
Don't
include-
call me though.
Yeah.
Please.
Don't call you.
I prefer
But
you,
send
you
postcards.
DM. I don't care.
Just hit my DMs.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back. We're still here with Andy and Annie Shaner at the Vacations Rooftop Bar in Brooklyn, New York. And we have a tradition on the show. So everybody's got to give us a hilarious story that has happened to them either on their travels, at a restaurant, at a hotel. In your case, it could be at the bar.
Okay.
My one funny story is my best friend had just broken up with his girlfriend. I was just turning 30, and he's like, my friend Ryan, he said, Sarah and I just broke up. He's like, I'm taking you to Costa Rica for your birthday. So we fly down. My other best friend joins us. The 3 of us are there. We take a horseback ride up a mountain. We come back down. It leads you to a beach. And my 2 friends decided that they were going to race each other on these horses. And they're galloping away on the beach. And my friend Jason's horse just decided to veer off and makes a right. And when he made that right, it leads him right into the center city of the town Hako.
Oh my goodness.
And he starts, and there's like a main, not highway, but like a 2-way
Drag.
Yeah, drag. And he starts running along with traffic on through the city of Hako, and then makes another right towards the mountains, and he hits a dead end, and there just happens to be a cowboy at the end of the street, and the cowboy gets the horse to settle down, checks him out, and he had something. The horse had stepped on something on the beach, like a shell or something that got hooked into his shoes.
So that's why he
Yeah, and the cowboy got the whatever it was, like shell or a nail or whatever, out of the shoe, and the horse went back to normal. And he comes back down on the beach, finally, like maybe like 10, 15 minutes later, and I'm very colorblind. I really can't see like different shades in people's, like, if they turn red, or he was white as a ghost. I've never seen anybody that looked like that before. He's like,
I died and I'm alive again.
Yeah. And my friend Ryan that took me down there for the trip, he lived there and he speaks Spanish fluently, and watching him reenact this story down there was something that was burned in my memory for the rest of my life. Like, just watching him tell these stories, or tell the story to other people that live there, was just like, to this day, like, is one of my like fondest memories. Not only watching Jason come back on the beach white as a ghost, that was also very funny.
Very fond.
But that's probably one of the funniest, craziest things that's happened.
I would have
to me
thought
on-
I would have just assumed this is it.
Yeah,
This
I
is how
think
I
he
go.
did.
This is how I go. Like,
Yeah,
Literally.
and he's also like, he's got nerves of steel. He's a what's he does a sea and like air and rescue. What do they call it?
Oh, he's like a scuba police officer.
Yeah, and he was
So
also
he does,
does
like,
like
scuba rescue, yeah.
He also does like the SWAT of New York City for the NYPD. Like, he's just like, he's kind of like a badass, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And to
but a
see
horse
him,
will.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
A runaway horse,
in
not
his
so much.
wheelhouse. We have to go.
yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
He got really, really lucky though with that cowboy. 'Cause
Yeah. And but what were the odds that there was going to be a cowboy at the end of the street?
I know, it's
real.
wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's a good one.
that is- no, I definitely
like
would
that
not
one.
expect that. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm glad he's okay too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I
He's
was like,
okay, yeah,
where
someone
is this
panicked.
story
Someone
gonna end? I was
else
like,
are like,
well, I was like, we said funny, not tragic.
Yeah,
I was like, I hope he doesn't die at the end, because that's not the
Seriously.
intent.
I
But
I think
Silence,
I
just
might meet him for a
through.
beer after this. So he's going to be happy to know that I told that story.
yeah, this is gonna be published,
or
so-
actually very mad
Yeah.
that I told the story.
Yeah,
one of the
it's-
two.
that's
all
funny.
good.
Well, Andy and Annie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
We're so happy.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. What an incredible conversation with Andy and Annie.
Yes, yes, yes. I am in love with their story.
Yeah.
I love everything that they actually did, and there's in the sense of like being bartenders, and one of them Andy wanted to own a bar. Annie did it, and
Yeah.
I just love hearing that. But then I love that they really talked a lot about their dynamic as a
Yeah.
couple, and kind of how to find that balance, and
Yeah.
also the curveball.
The curveball, yeah.
They're like, every day we get a curveball at
Yeah,
911.
which is expected in
something.
a new business like this. So I don't think the good news I have for them is they're not really experiencing anything out of the
Yes.
ordinary that, they're going through the motion, or they're going through the process.
They are so
So,
real. I feel
yeah.
like they're so real and relatable,
Oh, yeah.
and they just give so much, rich perspectives. And I love hearing also the design.
Yeah.
That wasn't. I totally thought like maybe they had.
Okay, don't you love the postcards?
I love the postcards.
And then the story they
I
told
love
about how the
postcards.
family went on vacation on like an RV trip, and they were
Yes.
sending postcards back.
And I can't wait because with our check-in podcast, we are doing postcards
Postcards,
in
yeah.
every city and place that we're at and filming. So we're gonna
Yeah.
send them a postcard.
We should send them a postcard,
We're
yeah.
definitely sending them a postcard.
We definitely need to send them a postcard.
love
But
it.
and also hearing their dynamic about the fact that they are married, so they spend a lot of time together, but they've been able to leave work kind of at work
Yes.
and not take it home.
And they have a great culture. You can tell. I mean, they talked a lot about that.
Yeah.
Yet I knew the moment that she said, "Oh, on Monday we had our team party, and
Yeah.
we took them fishing, and then had roast beef, and
With
then went to
champagne?
Applebee's." And that, to me, like for you to do that kind of programming, that's from the heart.
Yeah,
and
that's
you're
the type
trying
of stuff
to
where
create
you care.
A
Yeah.
family environment,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I
You don't
absolutely
take
love
people
that.
out on a boat that you don't want to spend some time with.
Yes,
So,
100%.
Yeah, you just take them to Applebee's.
They're definitely.
So if I ever just take you to Applebee's,
Yeah. At least I'll get the sangria because according to them.
according to them, the sangria is
from
fantastic.
them, that's a big compliment.
Yeah. So hopefully, they're closing the Applebee's left and right in Phoenix. So
We also got a development lead out of this.
we
interview.
did. That was a surprise. They
And in
might want to
Coney
open.
Island?
Yeah. A vacations hotel. Like
Done. So
So-
we have work cut out.
We have
for
our work
us.
cut out for us. So we'll make sure we leave our contact information for them. So
100%.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Be sure to follow, like, subscribe on the channels. Click below or whichever platform you're listening on and or watching on. And we will be back with you next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming up on our next episode of Check In with Bryan and Jeremy, we sit down in the New York City studio with Toni Morrison, Senior Director of Communications with GLAAD, to discuss how media shapes travel trends and creating safe spaces of inclusion within the hospitality space. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to all of our channels. You can find us on Instagram by searching for check_in podcast. New episodes drop every Monday. Check In with Bryan and Jeremy is a production of Reliance Hospitality. Executive produced by Tyler Alexander.